Hey folks, this is Sam Roberts.
Hey, this is Kim Mitchell.
This is Hannah Georges.
This is Matt May.
This is Derry Graham from Honeymoon Suite, and you are listening to...
And you're listening to
The
Hulk Caesar Show.
Welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show. I am your host, Hulk Caesar. My illustrious co-host, Newfoundland songbird Emily Malloy, is out on assignment making the television shows that you crave so dearly. Hopefully she'll make it back with us next week. Instead, playing the role of Emily this week will be Rachel Cousins. Rachel, thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
Tonight's guest is a man of many talents, an accomplished opera singer who spent over a decade performing on stages across Europe. He's now half of the duo behind one of St. John's most beloved shops, Postmaster's Bakery, over at Rollins Cross, where they're serving up everything from sweet treats to Roman-style pizza. He's also a Tik Toks star with his videos cooking up old Newfoundland recipes. It's the one and only Mark Murphy. Mark, welcome to the Hulk Caesar Show.
I am delighted to be here. Thanks.
A little later on, we're going to be joined by our musical guest, who's also going to be the outstanding Rachel Cousins. She got a brand new single out right now, Nora. She's going to perform a couple songs for us. I've really been looking forward to that one. So let's get started.
Hey, Mark.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. Can you tell us a little bit about the history behind Postmaster's Bakery?
Yeah. So we started, we bought a bed and breakfast literally days before the world shut down in 2020.
Oh, wow.
So we closed on the house and then the world shut down. We went, oh my God, what are we going to do? We have to pay this mortgage somehow. No guests are coming.
Wow.
This is insane. So Eldon, my partner, he had the reputation over at MUN. He was a professor over at MUN at the time, that he would say to his students, the whole class had to get like an 85 average on a test or whatever. And if they did, he would bring in brownies or cookies or something like that. And when they did, they were famous. And so the students really performed really well, and he would always bring in these things. So he was well known for that. And then in my family, everybody asked him at family gatherings to bring his bread. So it was like his artisan bread. Everybody wanted the bread.
Quite the reputation.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I sort of bullied him into, we've got this kitchen at the bed and breakfast. Let's start baking bread and cookies. And at first it was just, send them to friends and family and stuff as sort of, we weren't allowed to see anybody. Everybody was shut in. So it was sort of like care packages to friends and family. And so then they started ordering for their friends and family. And then that sort of grew and grew and grew and snowballed really quickly. Wow. And then within a few weeks, we were only doing it on Saturdays, and then it grew to Sundays as well. And within a few weeks, we weren't recognizing the names of people ordering anymore. So it was, it was kind of nuts. And so that's sort of where it grew from. And then within a year or so, we had the contract for the Botanical Gardens Cafe. And with that came, Cookies Not Chocolate for their Merry and Bright Festival. And so we thought we cannot bake 20,000 cookies out of this domestic oven. So we needed to find somewhere. And then the place on Bond Street came available, and we were there for a year or two, and now Rollins Cross. So it sort of happened organically through, we like to say that it was through kindness and paying it forward and community through the pandemic. So out of the pandemic for us came something good, and I think people really enjoyed our stuff. So
That's amazing to grow so organically out of something else.
Yeah. It was crazy.
That's amazing. Well, you guys don't just have sweet treats down there. You also have lunch and dinner options as well, including a Roman-style pizza. Now we got a two-part question. What exactly is Roman-style pizza? And as Caesar of these regions, do I get it for free?
That's funny. So Roman style pizza, so it's called al taglio, which means by the slice. And so in Rome, it's like the ultimate street food. You go up and what they do is you tell them how big you want the piece, and then they weigh it. So that's how you pay. We don't have the time for that up at the bakery. So we just cut it up. And it's a flat bread with very high hydration, so that it's really light and airy and fluffy, and the bottom gets so crispy because it's baked on a blue steel pan. So it's really, I like to say it's like a crispy pillow. It's so good. And then the toppings are more interesting than cheese and pepperoni. I mean, I love a cheese and pepperoni pizza, but you can sort of put anything. It's like a blank canvas for any type of pizza.
What's your favorite kind?
My favorite kind? Oh, geez. I'm a big fan of the classic garlic fingers, but also we have it's instead of a red sauce, it's a white onion sous vide. It's like a white sauce with caramelized onions, marinated mushrooms, arugula, feta, and I think hot honey, and that one's super popular. And I love that one too.
Yum.
Yeah, it's super good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What are some of your favorite parts of owning Postmasters?
That's an excellent question. I think it came out of the community, so I love that. I like the fact that I am my own boss. I like, for lack of a better word, I sort of like calling the shots.
Yep.
Without being like, oh, you do this and you do this. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like
Yep.
I like guiding something and building something that has to do with the community and building it the way that we want to build it.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
fun to kind of be in a position where you're kind of a hub in the community and people come in and you see people all the time and they come to you.
Yeah. And when
nice.
the regulars come in and they clearly love the sweets or the pizza or the coffee, so it's really nice to see that it has become a community.
100%.
Yeah, a place for the community to come. And now we've started having events there. We've done some concerts and trivia night and some board games night, and they're a huge success. So people want to go, and we like to say that it's a place for people to go when they want to go out for a drink at night or a coffee, but they don't want to go to a bar.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think we've become that,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, summertime is supposedly just around the corner. I don't know. I don't really believe it, but I'm told
I know.
summertime is just around the corner.
Yep.
What are some of your favorite things to do in St. John's in the summertime?
Oh, I love going over to Bannerman Park and just hanging out. My family has some family land out in Placentia Bay
Nice.
and a house out there. So I love going out there and just chilling out there. And we have a boat. So, of course, cod fishing is one of our favorite things to do, too. So sort of enjoying the outdoors and getting some time away from the business, which is important, too, because it's so easy to get steeped into it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no doubt.
For sure.
Yeah.
What do you like to do in the summertime, Rachel?
Oh gosh, I kind of live in Bannerman Park in the summertime. Like that's just where I've always
Nice.
gone. I went to high school right next to Bannerman, and so I think just going there in the summertime after high school, it's just kind of there now. So now I will turn up there. I love a good hammock up in Topsail Bluff
nice.
somewhere, like anything like that. I like the outdoors if I can be outdoors. I just love the sun, like a lizard on a hot rock. You know?
I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Love the sun.
Yeah, awesome.
Mark, where can folks find more information about the Postmasters Bakery on the interwebs?
On the interwebs, you can find us. So our website, postmastersbakery.com, I believe. Instagram, we are Postmasters House. On Facebook, we're Postmasters Bakery. And I think TikTok is Postmasters House.
Ooh, we got a nice mix.
I know.
Right?
I really need to get it a little more consistent, but I'm not that tech savvy just yet.
Amazing. All right. Well, after the break, we'll chat with Mark about his Throwback Thursday videos on TikTok, where he recreates recipes from old Newfoundland cookbooks. First, here's Dave Rowe from his recent appearance on our program with Mountain Dew on the Hulk Caesar Show.
Mountain Dew. Down the road here from me, there's an old hollow tree where you lay down $1 or two. Go on round the bend and come back again. There's a jug full of that good old Mountain Dew. Yes, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. If I hush up my mug, would you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew? Now Mr. Roosevelt told him just how he felt when he heard that the dry law had gone through. If your liquor's too red, it'll swell up your head. Better stick to that good old Mountain Dew. Yes, they call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. If I hush up my mug, would you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew? Well, the preacher rode by with his head hoisted high, said his wife had been down with the flu. And he thought that I ought to sell him a quart of that good old Mountain Dew. Yes, I call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. If I hush up my mug, would you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew? Well, my Uncle Snort, he's sawed off and short. He measures about 4 feet 2. But he feels like a giant when you give him a pint of that good old Mountain Dew. Yes, I call it that good old Mountain Dew, and them that refuse it are few. If I hush up my mug, would you fill up my jug with that good old Mountain Dew?
That is so good.
So good.
I love that.
Welcome back to the Hulk Caesar Show, brought to you by our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. Check out www.lspuhall.ca for information on all of their spring and summer offerings. From Postmaster's Bakery, we are joined by Mark Murphy. Mark, you have recently been having some fun with a series of Tik Toks called Throwback Thursdays. Tell me what that's all about.
So I kind of have always been interested in, you know, these old Newfoundland cookbooks that you get from, I don't know, the ladies' auxiliary at church or
the beavers.
Yeah, exactly. Where you sort of, everybody has to send in a recipe, and then 6 months later, this book comes back and you sell it. They're like fundraiser cookbooks, right? So I don't know. They've always sort of fascinated me because they sort of, well, I won't pretend that I thought this as a kid, but lately it's been like, wow, these are really a snapshot in time.
Oh,
right?
big time,
like,
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In terms of like, if you're Outport, Newfoundland, these were the ingredients that were available
Yep.
in 1984 in, I don't know, Grey River, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I always found that really fascinating. And so I thought it would be fun to start collecting those and doing them, because you don't really do them anymore, because we have the internet, right? And we've got and
Now this internet. Tell me, what is this internet?
I don't know, right? Like, we can find anything on any recipe you want on the internet, right? And so I thought it would be fun to crack open these books and see what comes of them. And yeah, so I was filming it, and it's sort of become its own beast, and I'm having a ball. It's just a bit of foolishness,
love it.
right?
Yeah.
It's just a bit of foolishness.
Yeah.
But I'm enjoying myself. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a good time.
Yeah.
What have been some of your favorite recipes so far?
Oh Lord. Sheesh. Last week I did, it's called picnic cake. That was awesome. It was wicked.
Okay.
It was almost like a carrot cake, but without the carrot. And then it had this like icing on top. It was like cream and butter and nuts and coconut sort of spread on top, and then put under the broiler, so it got like a crust on top.
Yeah.
It was real good. I did a tomato soup cake a few weeks ago. That was nasty.
Oh, it sounds
Really?
It
nasty.
was so bad. It was so bad. I can't even tell you how. Like, I put it in my mouth, and then was just like, no. And I had to open up the garbage and spit it. It was so nasty.
Gross.
But the thing is like, so people are getting involved, right? People are commenting and getting engaged on TikTok and
course.
Instagram and stuff. And a lot of people, excuse me, are saying, "Oh my God, I love tomato soup cake." And I'm thinking to myself, then we are not eating the same tomato soup cake. Like, there's a different tomato soup cake out there than what I just made, because what I just made was vile.
Yeah.
That's
it was
amazing.
so gross.
I'm pretty sure I got a cookbook home somewhere from like the 80s when I was like in kindergarten or grade 1 maybe, where everybody's parents sent in a recipe.
Yeah,
maybe
totally.
I'll have a look if I can find it. I'll drop it
Okay.
off to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Thanks.
I'm obsessed. Well, your videos have recently been getting some traction online. What is
Yep.
that like for you?
It's wild. I don't know how to describe. Like, you know what I mean?
I do know what you mean.
It's not something that I thought would happen. I was actually just talking to Eldon tonight about it, because I got a phone call from somebody yesterday who I unfortunately can't say who it was, and I thought to myself, what like, what's going, these are stupid. Like,
But people love it.
people love it.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm acting like an idiot
No.
because I'm not, right? But like, I'm taking the bits of, like, I'm filming for 2 hours and I have to pare these videos down to like 2 minutes or less.
Is that the limit on
Right.
TikTok, like 2 minutes or something? Or is there a limit?
It's like what you reach the most engagement for,
Yeah.
basically. Like, you don't
Yeah.
want to go over that on TikTok.
I think after
normally.
2 minutes, like, it just gets boring,
Yeah,
right?
on TikTok specifically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I'm just trying to like take out the most interesting parts. Like me mixing up a batter is not interesting, right? Unless there was one video where a piece of butter flew out of the bowl and like hit me in the face. And I was like, right? And so it's like stupid stuff
Yeah,
like
leave that in.
I get it.
Right? I was like, I'll leave that in. And I don't mind making a fool of myself.
No, 'cause
so
people like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People like a real kind of funny, personable moment, I think.
Yeah,
So I think
yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that goes over well. Yeah.
So it's been fun. I'm enjoying it, and I'll keep doing it as long as
Good.
as
Amazing.
long as people are going to watch it all.
What goes into making the videos? Is it pretty much just you and in your phone and?
It's just me. I got a GoPro for Christmas.
Oh, nice.
So I just set that up and away and it's just me in the kitchen. I think if there was anybody else in the kitchen, I might be self-conscious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just me. And just doing my thing. And it's a cool time. Like, it's 2 hours of the week where I can be by myself and just, it's not mindless, but I can just sort of like focus on one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, you get in the
know?
zone, right?
Yeah, I'm sure, as an artist and business owners, like you're just pulled in different directions
Yeah.
all the time, right?
Yeah.
So this is one time of the week where I can just
Do your thing.
do this
Yeah.
and only this, right?
Yeah.
Which is really neat.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Kind of leads into my next question because I'm curious. Would you ever do like a Throwback Thursday live at the Postmaster's Bakery? Like, would you get in front of a live audience and say, let's do this together from this book? Here we go.
Yes, but what you don't see in these videos is actually not that interesting. Truly, like, I'm literally there with the mixer. For some reason, I've got it in my head that I'm going to do this with a hand mixer, not a stand mixer. So I'm literally just there, like, looking, just going, like, it's really, what you don't see is not interesting.
Yeah, that's
right.
fair
Like, a
enough.
lot of
Yeah.
people have said, you should do this on NTV. I'm like, I don't, it's not.
Maybe as a live show, you could have like bands, and while you're doing the
Right.
mundane
Like
stuff, the
intermission
band
music.
plays.
I'm like, Rachel, sing something. I'm really boring right now, right? Like, I'm not Julia Child, right? Like, so
I love it.
That's funny.
All right, well, can you give us a rundown of all the places folks can find you and Postmaster's Bakery online and in the city?
sure thing. Yeah. So in the city, you can find us at 134 Military Road in Rollins Cross. Our bed and breakfast is at 20 Gower Street.
Nice.
Lovely place to stay.
Nice. How many rooms do you have?
We have 5 rooms.
Nice.
Yep, we renovated ourselves. We're at the cafe up at the Botanical Gardens.
Nice.
And then in the summer, also at Cape Spear, that cafe we've got the contract for.
Cool.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yep, that opens up June 1st. And then online, Postmaster's House. No, I lie. Well, postmastershouse.com.
There we go again.
I know, right? I'm just so popular. Postmastersbakery.com. Instagram, Postmaster's House. TikTok, Postmaster's House. Facebook, Postmaster's Bakery.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it.
Nailed it.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, well, let's take a quick break, and then we'll set up for our musical performance.
Awesome.
The Hulk Caesar Show is brought to you by our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. RCAT is thrilled to announce Kids at the Hall Summer Camp from Monday, July 28th to Saturday, August 2nd at the LSPU Hall. This camp will give students aged 11 to 14 hands-on learning opportunities in a professional setting. Working alongside industry professionals, students will gain experience in acting, playwriting, improv, technical arts, and theater design. Now, this summer camp is the first step to a larger goal of semesterized classes this fall and winter. Summer camp enrollment is $250 per student. For more details, contact Animature at rcatheater.ca, which I'll put here on the screen. Tonight's musical guest is a Hulk Caesar Show all-star, having joined us all the way back in 2023 on terrestrial radio. She's one of Atlantic Canada's biggest names in pop music, whose newest single, Nora, is bound to be a huge hit this summer. A true shining star of the granite planet, it's Rachel Cousins. Rachel, welcome back to the Hulk Caesar Show.
Thanks so much for having me.
What do you have for us first?
I'm going to play my new single off of the new album that I just finished, which will be out in the summer.
Amazing.
We released this one on the 25th, and this is Nora. I also wrote this with Leanne Hoffman, who's an incredible songwriter from Atlantic Canada as well.
Awesome.
Nora, yourself. Nora, I know you'd never speak that way to someone else. Nora, I wish that you could feel the way I do about you. Wish that was I know you'd never speak that way to someone else, Nora. I wish that you could feel the way I do about you. Wish that was true. Thank you very much.
So good.
Thank you.
Oh, I love
That's
it.
awesome.
Amazing. Rachel, as you said, your new single Nora just came out last month. What was the inspiration for this track that we just heard?
Yeah, myself and Leanne Hoffman got on a Zoom call. This was also during COVID. And I knew that I was writing for an album, and we just spoke about that. And then Leanne had this hook, which was, Nora, I hate the way you talk about yourself. She has a friend named Nora, and she had just written this and put it in her back pocket. So she played it, and I was like, we're gone, start the car. This is going to be real. And so we wrote this song just about how I wish our friends could see themselves from our point of view. And I know that my friends also wish the same about me. And especially like as women, there's just this weird unspoken thing of when you're around each other. Like, gosh, I wish that you could see the way that I see you. And so we just talked about that for a long time. And Nora, we ripped it out of us in one co-writing session. And we were instantly both so in love with the feeling behind it and everything. And my friends love this song the most just because I am Nora and they are my Nora. So
Yeah. Amazing. Do you like co-writing songs? You do that a lot?
Oh, I love co-writing. Yeah. This album, it's funny, I've written more by myself on this album than I have co-writes, but I did so much co-writing for this album, and there's just something that I love about it. I think it's just like this collaborative thing where somebody is bringing an idea to the table that you wouldn't have had yourself.
Of
like
course.
just that possibility being there is really interesting to me. And when you find those really good relationships with people or that really good chemistry, like myself and Leanne, and like there's just people like that. Like when you get in a session and you feel that, you know that it's going to be good, and yeah, it's really special.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Cool.
It seems like every release you put out has more and more buzz. You say you got a new album coming out. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah. I worked on this album with Greg Wells
Ooh,
in
fancy.
California. Yeah.
Ooh, in California.
I met Greg. Yeah.
Wow.
I met Greg when he was here working on the church out in Winterton.
Yeah.
And him and Ryan Gates now have a label started called Silly Cove Records. And so when I met Greg out at the church, it was just one of those things, like just an instant, I really like this person and I like what they're doing here. And so I signed with Silly Cove for this album. I flew up to California for the first time last February, and I was there for 2 weeks.
That's the first time you're ever in the States, or in California?
Yeah, in the States, actually. Yeah. I've done like some random travel, but like the first time I've actually been in the States somewhere like that. Yeah, that was the first time. And I was there for 2 weeks, and I stayed with Greg and his family.
Cool.
And we started the recording process. And then the end of last year in November, I went up and it was just me in an apartment in California for a month.
Cool.
And it was a dream come true. Like truly something that I've wished for going to sleep every night since I was 13. And it came true. And so I was there for a month just by myself, and we recorded pretty much the entire album. I wrote a lot while I was there. You think that you're going to write these songs like 6 months out from the album. Those are the songs. Wrong. I would write a song and then go into studio the next day and record it for the album. And those would be the songs that would yeah, you know, it's so funny. And so, yeah, I had a really wonderful time, not just with music, but I think there's something to be said about doing something like that for yourself as a person and like as a young adult and as someone trying to figure out music and life. It was just really nice to go away for a month and just be independent and new people, new place. Like that was really nice as well.
Nice.
So the album's done, and we're going to be releasing it in the summer. We're just rolling out some singles, and I have another single coming out on the 30th. So in 10 days.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Cool.
Now you put your first album out all the way back in 2019. How do you feel your music compares now to music you were doing back then?
Oh my gosh. It's funny. I released This Fire, and that was like a pretty folk, almost rock influenced album that I did with Chris LeDrew. And then I did my 2 pop projects with Daniel Adams. I did Rachel Cousins, my self-titled EP, and then I did Aura, which was my pop album. And like I was doing, like I got some Music NL awards and stuff like that for my pop, and I loved working with Daniel Adams so much. He's so talented. But it's funny, I left pop music just because of how I felt myself on stage, just things like imposter syndrome. And, you know, sometimes you just figure out what you want to do and what you don't want to do. So I found my sound, and it was like, it's almost like I've gone back to where I started. Like this fire was tracking acoustic guitars and stuff. And when I was doing my pop stuff, I think I was missing a little bit of that just for me personally, like just banging out a sad song. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That kind of thing. And so now with this album, I've gone back to basics, like tracking instruments from one track up and laying the vocal that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think it just kind of feels full circle-ish now. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
You got any shows booked yet for the summer?
I don't have a whole lot booked right now for the summer. I'm hoping to do a couple festivals during the summer. And then I would also love to do like anything like opening for people. Like I would love to start doing that stuff now with this album. Like go on a tour. I want to go on tour so bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd love to travel again this summer, just anywhere the wind takes me, really.
If you could go on tour with any artist in Canada right now, who do you want to go on tour with?
Any artist in Canada. Oh God. Okay, I opened for the Beaches in like 2016 here. Or
Super
something
awesome
for Iceberg
band.
Alley. Yeah, or 2017. Them and Serena Ryder. I would love to like make that a thing again, like open up for the Beaches on a tour or something like that, or Serena, because I love Serena Ryder so much.
Yeah.
And also, everybody knows this about me right now. I'm obsessed with this band from Ontario named Valley. I'm obsessed with them. And the bass player followed me back or something. I freaked out because I'm so obsessed with this band. And I'm like, if you're listening, I need to open for you. Point blank period. I need to open. That needs to happen. So those are my 3 picks.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks to our friends at the Resource Center for the Arts at the LSPU Hall. We have time for one more song from tonight's musical guest, Rachel Cousins. Rachel, what's going to be?
I'm going to play a new one off the album again. This one is called Deserve More. I wrote this one by myself like months before going up and recording. And I just wrote it because I was watching one of my best friends go through a tough relationship. And I was just waiting for her to figure out how much she deserved because I knew how much she deserved. So yeah, this one's called Deserve More. Find a new partner, teach them to dance. I think you'll be fine and you'll make better plans. The ones you have now are a waste of your time. He'll only keep lying and he can't change his mind. Go make some new best friends and treat you like gold. I hear they're treating you like dirt, and the jokes are getting old. It's better just to be alone than with an evil crowd. So find yourself the people who leave you feeling proud. Have you ever thought of closing that door to open up another, find something more? 'Cause when you find it, you'll realize you're settling for bad lives. Well, maybe then you'll figure it out, that you deserve more, the best, and you'll wake up one day and hopefully see my point of view, that everything I've ever said about you is true. Time you get undressed, you won't think of this. You're capable of moving on your own time. You won't even think of him further down the line. Well, maybe if you just close that door, you open up another, find something more. And when you find it, you'll realize lies, well, maybe then you'll figure
Amazing.
Great.
So good.
Thanks.
Thanks so much, Rachel. Where can folks find you on the interwebs?
Rachel Cousins Music. Everywhere.
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 Hey, see?
Get out of her.
See, I know. The consistency, that's good.
I only just changed mine, though, to be fair.
Oh, okay.
Rachel Cousins Music on TikTok also now.
Excellent. All right, you can come back over here and join us if you like. We'll play a little game. All right, it's now time to play everyone's favorite game of questions, Caesar's Casual Conversations with tonight guests Mark Murphy and Rachel Cousins. Now we've refilled the commemorative E.T. the extraterrestrial hat with questions. We had 100 questions the AI had written for us. We went through that whole questions, went to the same AI prompt and said, give me your second tier 100 questions. So these are second tier AI questions. So you pick a question, read it aloud, and then answer it. If you don't want to answer it, you can throw it on the floor and pick another one.
Mac or PC?
Oh, boy.
That's an easy one for me. Mac all the way.
Mac all the way. You guys are both
100%.
Mac, eh?
100%.
Oh, wow. Really, eh?
Yeah.
I was a Mac person at one time in my life.
Why would you regress like that?
What did Mac do to you?
Yeah.
Well, I had going way back. Like I had Apple computers as a kid, kind of
Yeah.
thing in the 80s.
Oh, like that big one? Like
Oh yeah, the old school
the
ones.
see-through ones?
It would just be like a circle, and the game would be putting eyes and a nose and a mouth and making a
So
face
good.
kind of thing. That was the future. But I had like the big thick white iMac and like even the big CRT iMac.
Yeah.
But I think at one point they got too expensive for me, and I could get more bang for my buck with a PC.
Yeah, true enough.
And then I think once I went back, I just never
never-
came back.
Yeah,
But
fair
I do. A lot of people say for editing, I guess, and stuff they like to use
Yeah.
for music and
Yeah.
stuff. They like to use Macs, but
Yeah.
I found my PC's fine. You know?
Love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Rachel, why don't you pick one?
Okay.
You got two, so you can pick, or you can pick which one you want if you want.
All right. All right.
Very loose rules.
Oh, I like this one. Oh, actually, no, I like this one. Would you rather live in a treehouse or a houseboat?
Ooh, what do you think?
Treehouse for me.
Treehouse, yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
A houseboat, I get seasick.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah. I like a treehouse.
What do you think, Mark?
I would also go treehouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like a
Yeah.
treehouse, you can really make that like a whole vibe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. A houseboat is going to be cramped and low ceiling, and
Yeah.
I'm not down for that.
I'm okay.
Yeah.
I hate the water. I don't like to be near the water. Or in the
really?
water,
Really?
so definitely
no.
not a houseboat. I also
Treehouse
don't really
is.
like heights. So, but I guess it doesn't have to be high. I mean, it can
No,
be just
a
off.
shrub
Yeah.
house.
Yeah, a shrub house. There you
A
go.
shrubbery house.
Nice little kind of hobbit hole, you know? Yeah. that I could get into. I could go into a hobbit hole and never come out, let me tell you.
Right.
Amazing. All right, good answers. All right, let's see what I get here. I'm notorious for picking them and putting them back. So, so this one, that's stupid. All right, what's your favorite type of weather? My favorite type of weather is we were talking about this a little bit off air about how I lived in Vancouver for quite some time and then came back here, and I do love the summer weather. I don't really like the humidity. I get really wet out here in the summertime. Like I get that real slick.
Yeah.
I like that sort of. I was in Vegas once for a wedding many years ago. And
God.
that sort of dry
Yep.
sun, like it's
Yeah.
like 40 degrees, but it's
Yeah.
like that hot, dry heat. Oh,
Yeah.
that's what I really like, I think.
All right. Yep.
Yeah. I'm also sun, hot, summer, beach.
I'm
Love it.
I'm like sun and warm.
Yeah.
I can't, I'm like not really cut for heat. Like I turn into a demon when I'm too warm. You know what I mean? So it's just a little too much for me. I don't like being too warm. I'd rather be too cold than too warm. So it's like
Yeah.
warm weather, I'm in a t-shirt, but I can throw on a hoodie, you know?
Right on.
That's my jam.
Yeah, I kind of like
Right
that
there.
too, you know?
Yeah.
If I can't have that super dry heat,
Yeah.
then I prefer kind of like, like 20 degrees
Yeah.
and it's nice.
Yeah.
And if I get chilly, I'll put a long sleeve shirt on. Right?
But if it's too hot, what am I going to do?
What am I going to do, right?
My skin's not coming off.
No, it's not.
We're
Well,
stuck.
Yeah.
Not easily anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
All right, let's do one more question, Mark. You can
Okay. Another easy one, please. Here we go. Early riser or late sleeper? Oh, I'm definitely an early riser.
What time do you get up?
I'm up usually. Well, my alarm is always set for 7, but I'm always up before it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sleeping late. I think because I grew up. It's sort of a running joke in my family that if you're getting out of bed at 8 o'clock, my dad would always say, "Oh, day's half over, nothing done." Right at 8 o'clock in the morning.
not wrong.
He's not wrong. He's not wrong. I get a lot of good work done first thing in the morning, like
Yep.
get out of bed and do some stuff. Yeah, early riser for sure. But I also like to stay up late, so it doesn't always go hand in hand. Yeah.
Rachel?
I love it when I'm up early in the morning. However, I am a 24-year-old girl, and I also am a singer-songwriter. I promise you that I'm not an early riser. I'm up late every. Like,
I was going to say, you're probably going to bed, but I'm getting up some days.
It's really bad. Like, I go to bed so late, and I also just go to sleep later than that. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm a late sleeper.
Yeah, I think that comes with the territory.
I'll grow out of it, right? It's not for everything, right?
I don't think I've seen midnight. The last time I saw midnight, I think was when Fur Pack played down at the Rock House a couple of years ago. I stayed up past midnight for that.
Oh yeah.
See, me and Midnight are best friends. Like, we get along.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't even see it on New Year's.
I rarely see 10 o'clock
Yeah, I love that.
Making me feel really
because
bad.
I'm an old man.
I love that for you.
Right?
Yeah, we go to bed 9:30, 10 o'clock most nights.
Yeah.
See, I'm like, that's when my friends are texting the group chat, what are we doing? You know what I mean? And then we're going out at 11.
That's when my co-host Emily knows after like 9:30 he's no good to put anything in the group text because I'm going to bed.
I want that so bad. But like once 9 o'clock comes up, I'm going, oh, is it bedtime? Oh my God. No, I can't go to bed before 9:30 because that's just ridiculous. Like, oh, 9:30. All right. Now it's like I feel justified.
You're waiting in the doorway, like.
Totally. I'm just like sitting like, okay, 25 after 9.
Right?
5 more minutes.
I love it.
That's me.
Gosh.
Amazing.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's about all the time we have for tonight. Mark Murphy, thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, I've had fun. Thanks.
Rachel, thank you for your performance. And boy, you really card read good. That's very good being Emily on that one.
Thank you.
We'll get you guys to sign our little picture here. We'll put on the wall.
Yes.
On the autograph wall. And then here's your guest gift. This is volume 3 of our show zine, which is
Thank you.
pages from my 1996 high school agenda.
Working at the
This
mall.
covers the day that I went to the mall with a disposable camera and told people I worked for the Telegram and took pictures of them working.
Really cute.
Stop it. Are
And
you
then for
kidding
some
me?
reason I developed those pictures, and then for some reason I taped them in my agenda.
This is really
hysterical.
priceless. Actually.
Oh my
Yeah, all your favorite
Like
stores
the
are in there.
Avalon. Oh my God.
Yeah, really bring it back.
Oh, this is wicked.
Yeah, this
What a
is
great idea.
wicked.
And there's a QR code in there. If you scan it, it'll take you to a little online app that has a bunch of songs Emily's played on her show.
Wicked.
Awesome. All right, well, thanks so much, guys.
Thank
Fun
you
times.
so much.
Thank you. This is a ball.
Yeah.
If you've got something to say, hulk@hulkshow.com. For Jill, Emily, and myself. What am I talking about here? We're not Jill and Emily and myself. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I copied that from last week's show. Oh, you got something to say? Hulk@hulkshow.com. For Mark, Rachel, and myself, I'm the Hulkster. Thanks for watching The Hulk Caesar Show.